If you see this washer, buy it. This is one of the best you can get. I want to talk about this Whirlpool washer and dryer pair. It's a very common one. You probably see it at the big box stores, and probably almost all of your small appliance stores are also going to have this one or something very similar. Now, when you look at it here, this is a WTW 4816. This one actually has an agitator. This is what they call a dual action agitator. And so there's little dog ears in it that allow it to move around. Now this does a good job of cleaning the clothes because it will grab things and move them up and down and around. This is a good washer. This is a small capacity, but I'm telling you, this is kind of what you want. I'm not crazy about the lid latch, so you have to be very patient. Don't grab it and try to open it early, or you're going to break that lid latch and it's going to cost you some money. So if you're patient, then you won't make that mistake. This washer has a lot of features. Heavy soil. When you get over here, normal is of course going to be your eco, that's designed to actually save water and electricity. And some people say it doesn't always get the clothes clean, so I just want to warn you about that. It does get a rinse and spin. Not all your cheap washers do. This is in a $500 price range, and honestly, if I needed to buy a washer today and I didn't have connections in the washer industry or to washer stores or friends, and I had to go out and buy one all alone with what I know today, this is probably the one I would get. If I couldn't afford a Speed Queen, which is obviously the best, this is probably where I would start. So if your budget's $500, this Whirlpool also, you'll find a Maytag that's almost identical to it. It's pretty much the same. Rinse options here. I do like this one that gives you the extra rinses. It makes mention if you use fabric softener. Please stop using fabric softener. It's horrible for your machine. It gums everything up inside of here. It creates more bacteria in the system, and frankly I don't think fabric softener is that good for your body. So I know a lot of people are used to a certain smell. I would find a better alternative if I were you. Also, this is a good one because it has that deep water wash. So for a $500 machine, it will fill all the way up. Now here's the thing, a lot of people want to do a week's worth of laundry all in one shot. If you'll stop doing that and you'll do more often smaller loads, you know, really, you don't want to go above this area here. Where the water stops is right here at these holes. So you'll never get any more water than those holes. But you know what happens? A lot of people will actually fill it all the way up to here. Now, this is what's called a balance ring. This is filled with saline solution, yeah, like salt water, and it's heavy, so it will actually balance it out. This style of washer is called a VMW. No, not BMW, VMW, vertical modular washer. And if you'll notice something with it, this is the top of the shock, the suspension system, and we'll see if we can show you down in here. So you have these rods, and they'll have a spring on them, and it's hanging this basket, so it's just suspended down here. So this style washer, if you overload it consistently, it will break those suspension rods, and you'll have to get new ones. They'll just be too wobbly. It'll always be off balance. It'll always make noise. Now, it's sort of an inexpensive repair if you don't use the OEM parts. Even the OEM ones are not as expensive, so if you're a do-it-yourselfer, this is a good machine that you can actually do a lot of repair on. So that's one of the more common problems, is the suspension rods. Another one, again, is this lid latch, which I think is cheaply made. Whirlpool, it's time to do something about this. But if you're patient, you won't destroy that. If you don't overload, you won't mess up the suspension. The last and final problem, of course, is the computer board. Now, these days, every machine has to have a computer board ever since our government got in the business of mandating and regulating what a washer can and can't do. So you have to have a computer to control everything. These computers are known for going out. And I will tell you a story. There was this lady that had one that went out, and she was broke, and we helped her locate one for $60 that was refurbished. And as far as I know, she got at least a year out of it without any other issues. So a new board may cost as much as, I don't know, $300. And if you have a pro put it in, that may cost you another $100. So for a $500 washer, if the board goes out and you get a $400 quote, you're probably going to go buy another one. But if you're a do-it-yourselfer, you say, well, wait a minute, can I get a refurbished board for $60 and swap it out myself? Then this would still be a good machine to hold on to. Now, this particular board has a couple hacks, if you will. When it starts to go out and it stays in a wash cycle, or it begins to give you errors, it just won't rinse and spin right, it begins to have these problems, you can look it up, and the pressure switch, I don't know if we'll be able to see it, but let's try. So there is a pressure switch that is trying to determine how big of a load you have. And that pressure switch is a tube, and it goes all the way up to the computer board. And so when that tube communicates with the board, in the back, it's actually putting moisture in the board. So you can clean that sensor sometimes and get more life out of your machine. It is actually a hack where you can fix it yourself. I've seen a lot of guys throw these things away, and other guys are able to pick them up and just clean the sensor, and they had a perfectly fine machine that was operating, and they would resell it. So generally speaking, this is a great set. It's a $500 machine, and so is the dryer that pairs with it. This same old design has been around for some time. It is very durable. It's American made, which that really ought to matter to you. It should. It has the lint trap up top. It's got pretty much everything you're going to need. It's not super fancy, and the owners of this machine are very happy with it. And I just want to tell you, if you're on a budget and you're trying to get a washer for $500, I would start with this one. I would pick this over the Hot Point. I would pick it over the Samsung every day of the week. And I would even pick it over the LG. I know the LGs have gotten better, but I still believe that this American-made Whirlpool is going to have everything you need, and it's easier to fix yourself. So I really hope this helps you save some money. I hope it gives you good direction on what to buy. I hate it when I see people spend good money on bad products and then they have problems within a year or two. Generally speaking, this is a great machine. It's a good place to start. So I hope this helps you out a lot. This has been the Appliance Insider. Have a great day. The number one best washer that you want to buy is not going to be a Samsung or a GE or a Whirlpool. It's actually going to be a Speed Queen. So you won't find this at your local store. So let me give you the next ones I'd recommend. Number 3, get a $500 LG. They seem to do all right. Don't get the expensive one. There's no sense in it. Number 2, I'd get a middle of the road GE, which is going to be $500–600. These also do really well, but make sure you get the one with the agitator. Don't get the impeller. You will regret it. This is a pretty good machine right here. That would be a winner if I were buying today. And then number 1, I would look for a Whirlpool, kind of like this one, but honestly, I'm a little bit tied between this one and that GE. I hope this helps you save some money. If you don't know what a Speed Queen is, save your money, get one of those. It'll be the best decision you've ever made in your life. If you see this washer, buy it. This is one of the best you can get, and I know it's not as good as a Speed Queen, but under $500. Notice the difference. That's a steel basket. Now it's painted, it's ceramic, but this has a better suspension system. This is going to be more durable. This is a dual action agitator. Know what happens when I turn it around? So this is going to give you more washing action. Mind you, it's a smaller basket. It's a smaller price. But I'm encouraging you, if you see this washer, get it. Don't get one of those super massive Samsungs or LGs. You'll just regret that over the years.